In today's podcast, what we're going to talk about is excuses, okay? And what I want you to understand is this: excuses are the gatekeepers to the success that you desire. Never forget that. The biggest gatekeeper, the biggest obstacle, the biggest roadblock to the success that you really desire falls back to excuses, okay? Your excuses will rob you of the success that you desire if you allow it to, okay? Let's talk about it. Welcome to another episode of Career Strategies. My name is Rodney Hughes, Mr. 100%, and the purpose of this podcast is to teach you ideas, strategies, and concepts that can help you exponentially advance your career. And today's podcast is being brought to you by the 7 Deadly Resume Mistakes, which is a free resume writing course on www.resumemistakes.com. In this particular course, you're going to discover how to avoid making the 7 deadly mistakes that cause most candidates to fail miserably when writing a professional resume. So if you'd like to learn more about it, head on over. It's 100% free. Go to www.resumemistakes.com. Again, www.resumemistakes.com. Again, if you want to learn how to write a resume that demands attention and really be able to position yourself as the ideal candidate of choice whenever you write a resume, head on over and take advantage of this free training. Again, once again, it is www.resumemistakes.com. And if this is your first time joining us on the podcast, thank you so much for joining us. I hope that you'll get great value. Make sure you do me a favor and subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to be dropping extremely valuable content on a regular basis. All right. So let's talk about it. Excuses. So let me tell you this. So I am a proud member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. And one of the main things that I learned when I joined Phi Beta Sigma, and I think this is something that is taught pretty much in every, for sure in the Divine Nine, but in most fraternal organizations, one of the ideas that is taught is this idea of excuses. And so they drilled it into our heads when I was online. Excuses are tools of incompetence which build monuments of nothingness, and those who specialize in them seldom accomplish anything. Okay, let me say that again, just in case you missed it. Excuses are tools of incompetence which build monuments of nothingness, and those who specialize in them seldom accomplish anything. What I want you to understand is that when it comes to your career, okay, you can treat excuses like the thief in the night, okay? It's a thief in the night that comes to just steal your dreams, okay? And what made me think about this is something I constantly have to work on, okay? It's something I'm constantly kind of keeping my mind on, which is, you know, when things don't work out, a lot of times what I tend to do is I tend to start looking for excuses. I tend, you know, my knee-jerk reaction is I want to blame everything and everyone else besides me. Okay. And I've had to deal with this for many, many years. And it's something that I'm continuously dealing with. And it's something that I constantly keep at the forefront of my mind. And I constantly try to remind myself that excuses are tools of incompetence which build monuments of nothingness, and those who specialize in them seldom accomplish anything. Because here's the reality. I don't know who came up, but I don't know who originally said what I'm about to say, but I love this quote. If it is to be, it's up to me. Full stop. Period. If it is to be, it's up to me. Listen, God already did God's job. God gave you everything that you need in order to be successful. That's my belief. You know, whether you believe in God or not, I'm just telling you what my belief is. I believe that God has given me everything that I need to be successful and to accomplish the purpose that I have on this planet. Okay. And I believe that I'm made in the image and likeness of God. And so therefore I have creative abilities, right? But just because you have creative abilities, and I believe that every human being, for the most part, especially every healthy human being, has creative abilities. But just because you have these creative abilities doesn't mean that you're going to create the success that you desire, unless you are willing to take unreasonable amounts of action towards getting that done. And what will always come in and sabotage your success is excuses. Okay? You have to. So one of the things I try to focus on is, number one, awareness. And so I try to be as ruthlessly honest with myself as I possibly can. I always try to think, all right, Rodney, are you using an excuse right now? Right? Like if there's something I'm trying to, accomplish in my career, and then I'm not accomplishing it for one reason or another, the very first thing I'm trying to focus on are my inner thoughts. Am I buying in? Am I creating a narrative in my inner thoughts that is not in line and in tune with reality? Am I creating a narrative that is really nothing more than an excuse? Am I blaming somebody else for the lack of success that I'm experiencing? Am I blaming something else for the lack of success that I'm experiencing? See, here's the thing. The dangerous thing about excuses is that it's all about power. Okay? So when you go looking for excuses, what most people don't understand is that you are looking to give away your power, right? The moment you buy into an excuse, the moment you point your finger at someone else or something else, you are giving whatever you point your finger to from an excuse perspective, you are relinquishing your power. Okay? See, because here's the reality. If something's not going the way I want it to go in my life, and I point my finger at you, then essentially I've given you power. I've given you power whether you want it or not. Okay? I'm saying that you are the reason why I'm not succeeding. And the moment I do that, the problem with that, and this is, again, you're going to hear me say this all the time, I believe in controlling the controllables. I do not believe that everything in life can be controlled. I don't believe I control everything in my life. Okay? But the things that I can control, I want to control it to the best of my ability. And so when I look to, when I'm looking for excuses because of something not playing out the way that I want it to play out, if I use as an excuse that someone or something else is responsible for me not getting what I want to get, whether it's true or not, I'm operating from a position of weakness, because I have now relinquished the power that I have to change my situation, because I can't control something else. I definitely can't control someone else. As a matter of fact, if you're going to blame something or someone else, I'd rather you blame something else as opposed to someone else, because you're guaranteed to not be able to control someone else. You understand? You may be able to control something else, but you definitely can't control someone else. Okay? You have no control over what other people do. So I just find it to be helpful to really just focus on assuming personal responsibility for everything in my life, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. Okay? And I try my best to stay laser focused. And listen, man, I have my own lapses. Okay? I have times when, when I want to be susceptible, when I want to relinquish that power. Okay? And I believe that the most successful person that you know has vulnerable moments where they want to, buy into an excuse. But I think the main difference between people who get things done and people who go out and make their dreams come true is that they take responsibility for the good, the bad, and the ugly, and they don't go looking for excuses. They don't make excuses. Okay? They say, you know what? This is my fault. Let me figure out how to fix this. See, because as long as you take personal responsibility, if you are the problem, my friend, you are the solution. Okay? If someone else is the problem, then that means that someone else is the solution and you're in a weak position. Okay? I don't ever want to be in that situation. And listen, you might not always be able to avoid being in that situation, but to the best of your ability, okay? Try not to be in that position. And the best way to do that is don't allow yourself to buy into excuses. Don't allow yourself to point the finger at something or someone else. And I think if you do that and you assume that personal responsibility, then you're just going to be in a much more powerful position, and you'll be able to really accomplish some really cool things, because then you'll start to think differently, right? It's a different thought. It's a different level of thought that you have when you assume responsibility over something, as opposed to when you release and relinquish responsibility to something else by buying into excuses. It's just two totally different ways of thinking. Okay, when you do the excuse game, when you play the excuse game, it's all about excuse me. When you play the excuse game, it's all about blaming someone else, right? But or something else. But when you play the responsibility game, it's all about saying, you know what, I take responsibility for this, whether it's me or not. Okay. And then you're just able to think differently and act differently, and when you start acting differently, that's when you get different results. Okay. Listen, hopefully you got great value out of this video. Listen, if you haven't done so already, if you got value today, I'd love for you to pick up a copy of my book, The Ugly Truth About Getting Hired, How to Land the Job of Your Dreams Regardless of the Competition. This is a book that I wrote that is specifically designed to teach you a step-by-step system for exponentially improving your odds of having phenomenal success in the job interview process from point A all the way to point Z. And so if you'd like to pick up a physical copy or ebook version of this book, head on over to my website, www.theuglytruthbook.com. Again, that's www.theuglytruthbook.com. Again, it's a phenomenal book. It's a quick read, but it's filled with a tremendous amount of value. So again, www.theuglytruthbook.com. All right, listen, thanks for checking out this podcast. Hopefully you got great value, and I will see you in the next episode. Take care.